In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to use OpenAI Deep Research to build a stellar content strategy from scratch. Deep Research is a new model from OpenAI which goes into so much more depth than previous models and allows you to find in-depth insights that can inform your content strategy and allow you to research just about anything in depth. Over the last couple of weeks, I've used it to research everything from analyzing my business, looking at competitors, planning travel trips, and so much more. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to just look at how we can use this to build an in-depth content strategy. Let's dive in. So when it comes to building a content strategy with deep research, we want to look at a few things. We want to look at the big picture strategy in terms of what we're looking to achieve and the various different sources we want to research to discover the best insights. We're going to look at how we can use deep research to do SEO research in conjunction with any other SEO tools that you may be using. We're going to look at how it takes idea generation to a whole new level, better than any other previous model that I've worked with. We're going to look at how it can build a full content calendar based on your prompt. And then I'm going to give you a master prompt, which you can copy and paste into deep research. And within 30 minutes, you'll get incredible insights that will allow you to build a really effective content strategy. So looking at the big picture as to how we can approach deep research when it comes to outlining our content strategy. So firstly, it offers turbocharged ideation and trends. Again, better than any other model that I've previously worked with because it goes into so much depth through the research, looking at various different online sources to allow you to find the best ideas and the best trends that you can take advantage of. It offers research efficiency and depth. So what would have taken you days or even weeks to research with hundreds of tabs and way too much coffee, you can now do this within 30 minutes. It offers audience insights and social listening. So where previous models did very surface level research, this can go into online forums like Reddit and discover the specific and timely conversations that are going on that will allow you to make the best decisions with your content strategy. And then it also offers competitive analysis and gap identification. So looking at what's already working online in terms of your niche and how you can find gaps to take advantage of. So why should you use deep research for SEO analysis? It does smarter keyword research by going into a lot more depth. It can be used in conjunction with other SEO tools that you may be using, such as Ahrefs. And it does a great job of understanding search intent, which is a really important factor when it comes to optimizing your SEO strategy. It offers AI-assisted outlines and structuring so that those SEO keywords are optimized and you can really take advantage of it to drive traffic to your content. It's optimized for EEAT, which is a new Google structure that covers expertise, experience, authority, and trustworthiness. And then it can also help with meta descriptions and optimizing the keywords that you've discovered through deep research. So which creators can get the most out of deep research? The short answer is anyone. Anyone looking to do in-depth research around a topic that they want to write about, create videos about, or create podcasts around. It allows you to research topics in depth for bloggers where you can create written content that goes into so much more depth than previous models. For YouTubers, you can look at what's already working, what videos have gone viral, and then plan accordingly so that your video has the best chance of going viral itself. For podcasters, you can research topics and guests to look at insights that will allow you to create the best podcast experience possible. And any other content creators, as long as you have a topic that you want to learn more about, the more in-depth, the better. Deep research is an amazing tool to use. So here's the content strategy prompt. we're going to take this, copy and paste it into ChatGPT, switch on deep research, and let it do its thing. So if we hop over to ChatGPT, a couple of things to note. In order to access deep research, you will need a paid plan. Until recently, this was only available on a $200 plan. I paid for the $200 plan, and then the day after they released it for the Plus plan, which is $20 a month. So in order to use deep research, make sure you have a Plus subscription, and trust me, it is definitely worth the money if you are planning on researching even just a couple of deep topics every week. So a couple of things to note. I've got the O1 Pro mode switched on here, which is another benefit of the $200 plan. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to show you ChatGPT 4.5. This will change, so do a bit of digging to understand which model is best. But as a baseline, you can use just about any model here, and you can get a better idea of what they offer by looking at each description. So we're going to switch on ChatGPT 4.5. We're going to make sure deep research is switched on. Then we're going to copy and paste our prompt. You can close that. So for the purposes of this tutorial, we'll use the example of a safari travel brand. From here, you can just go through and refine this and even add details depending on your goals. So my primary goals are to grow brand awareness within the next 6 months, increase website traffic and social media engagement. Please provide 1, a brief target audience analysis, 2, the top 5 trending topics or themes related to this niche, 3, suggested primary and secondary keywords, 4, a 4-week editorial calendar, which again, you can adapt. You can make this an 8-week, 12-week, 6-month calendar if you really wanted to. And depending on the output that you want, depending on how much content you want to create, you can update all of these. But I'm going to keep it simple here. Then 5, best practices for crafting compelling CTAs. 6, competitor analysis. So this is where it really shines. It can look at all sorts of competitors, but not only that, it can identify the best competitors within the space. Then cite all sources and data points, because deep research is not perfect. And once we get a report from it, we want to go and check to make sure that the information is in fact correct. Feel free to add any information or requests here, depending on what you're trying to build in terms of your content strategy. But from here, we're simply gonna hit enter, and what you'll realize is deep research always follows up with questions, which I really like. It makes it more conversational, more collaborative, and allows you to refine the prompt further. So thanks for the detailed request. To provide most relevant insights, could you specify target audience? So let's go for I would recommend doing your own research prior to using deep research, and use it to not only refine your prompt, but to input competitors that are relevant to you. So that's all you need to do, is just answer those questions, and this is where the magic happens. So we get a response, great, I'll research and compile a comprehensive content strategy tailored to the US audience. And it outlines what it's going to do, which is just useful to understand what the process is. And this here is the magic, starting research. This can take anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes, depending on how in-depth your input is. And basically from here, you're done. You can go and switch on the kettle, take a break, and come back to find a really detailed report with a full content strategy that you can then refine and test in a way that I haven't seen yet with other models, just the depth that it goes into. Okay, so 11 minutes later and 43 sources, which we can check out here. So it gives you an idea of the thought process. It looks at McKinsey, a big consulting firm, so that's a good sign. And you can see the thought process here. It goes into so much depth around building this content strategy. A total of 43 sources. And again, scroll through this and just make sure that the sources it is pulling from are relevant and factual, and that they make sense when building your own content strategy. So let's have a look at the report. Safari travel brand content strategy, target audience analysis. Luxury eco safari travelers from the US are typically affluent professionals or retirees. So you can see here, it really analyzes the target market in a way that highlights exactly who they are, how they behave, interests and motivations, pain points, which is huge, especially when putting together your content strategy. You want to understand these so that you can create content that speaks to these pain points. Then looking at trending subtopics and themes. Okay, so it suggested some kind of content there. And depending on your expertise, you can always adapt this to refine it further, ask it follow-up questions, and refine the idea generation according to what you think makes the most sense. So based on recent industry data and travel behavior, here are the 5 trending topics. So conscious luxury, immersive conservation, and community experiences. These are great. I've worked within the travel industry, and these are insights that are not obvious through a Google search. That's where deep research is so valuable. It goes into so much depth to pull all the various different sources and analyze whether or not they're relevant. Multi-country itineraries and longer stays, which is very pertinent to this. You know, especially US travelers, they want to know how they can make the most out of their trip and potentially visit multiple countries. Next-gen travelers and family safaris, great point. Consider the families and the kids of these people who are making the purchasing decisions. So it gives you the sources here, which I encourage you to go and check out, especially if there's one that you're not sure about or doesn't quite make sense, which can happen. But for the most part, especially compared to previous models, deep research does an incredible job of finding sources that are relevant and factual. So keyword strategy, primary keywords. It even tells you how many searches it's getting a month. This I would back up with research on SEO tools like Ahrefs, just to make sure that these are the right keywords, and then even use these keywords within a tool like Ahrefs to discover further keywords that you can take advantage of. Offers secondary keywords, all very specific, and allows you to identify content gaps where you can create content around these things to drive traffic to your website. So keyword notes, primary keywords, secondary keywords. It's such an interesting read. I've yet to receive a report from deep research where I was bored or didn't learn anything. There's always nuances to this where you get such amazing insights that can allow you to make better decisions. So 4-week editorial calendar, week 1, blog post, luxury meets sustainability, the new era of safari travel. Sounds interesting. Social media series, sustainable safari 101. Okay, this is really interesting. So newsletter, letter from the founder, our safari mission. So again, because I was specific in stating that we were looking at luxury safaris with a focus on impact and ecotourism, it's taken that information and refined it for your content strategy. So interviews with conservationists, brilliant. Week 2, you get the point. It's given you a really in-depth outline, and what you can do from here is take this information, refine it, make sure that the facts are in fact correct, and then start a new chat and develop content specific to these topics. So podcast, your YouTube, top 5 safari moments captured on camera and their conservation story. Brilliant. That's highly likely, if executed well, to garner a lot of views. Okay, so you get the idea here. It's giving you a 4-week content strategy. You can go through the summary, content best practices, so how to craft compelling calls to action. You get the idea here. It goes into so much depth as to how you can refine all these different elements within your content strategy, repurposing content effectively, competitor analysis. So again, having worked in this space, I know that And Beyond is a big player and they have an amazing content strategy. So I'm glad to see that they've pulled from that. Makato Safaris, another big name. They operate mostly in Kenya. And it goes into so much depth. It highlights gaps and opportunities. Abercrombie and Kent, they are UK based. So given that I understand the space somewhat, I know that these are all really good competitors, and they probably would have been the competitors or the types of competitors that I would have chosen had I done all this research on my own. Content gaps across competitors, so education on sustainability, interactivity and community, modern formats, honest comparisons and transparency. So it goes beyond just standard cookie cutter content and helps you identify gaps that have a lot of potential. So right at the bottom here, citations and sources. I would again go and check all of these, make sure that the information is in fact correct. But basically, Deep Research has done 11 minutes worth of work that would have taken me personally days, maybe even weeks, going down rabbit holes, and often endless rabbit holes, getting confused, trying to find the right insights. It's done it all for me. And that is the power of deep research, and specifically how you can use it to develop a really stellar content strategy for your brand or business to grow online. So I hope this mini deep dive into deep research was useful. If you are a content creator or part of a content team and you're looking to unlock your potential as a content creator and thrive in the age of AI, there's a few things that you need to note. You need to adopt the right tools for you. So given that there's so many tools out there, you need to find the right ones that best suit your application depending on what you're trying to achieve. You need to lead the conversation with AI. So as easy it is to copy and paste prompts, what I love about deep research is it has follow-up questions and it's way more collaborative. From there, I would, based on the report, I would ask follow-up questions, ask it to dive deeper into certain topics or better explain certain things if there's been something that's been left out. You need to develop a growth mindset. So AI is scary, and you need to understand that it's not here to replace you, provided you're willing to grow with it. You need to join communities of like-minded creators. So it can be really lonely in this whole new world with AI. So find people you can speak to, like-minded individuals who are on the same path as you, who you can learn from, who you can teach based on your experience. And you need to carve out your own niche. So within the creative space, we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. And when it comes to AI, in order to thrive in this new world, you need to find a niche that is best suited to you, your experiences, and your passions. So if you would love to unlock your potential as a content creator, join our free community, go to Escapism AI and sign up for the free newsletter. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.